Hi, my name's Amanda, and this is Amanda Started a Podcast. I am wearing a really fun shirt, but I feel like, so I'll show you, quick flash, cute, right? But I really am a little chilly, so I just need you to know that the cute shirt is underneath this zip up. And for people that are just listening to this with audio, just know it's the cutest shirt you've never not seen in your whole wide world life. This week, Jules being on the podcast, Jules is a phenomenal human being. Danish, American, grew up a little bit in the US, mostly in Denmark. And while it's only been 3 years of knowing each other, like we've really been through a lot, both personally and our friendship together. We were super, super close when I first moved to Berlin. We talk about this on the episode, but like toxic relationships happen to make us kind of like lose that closeness. How I feel about Jules now, I'm just so proud of them. I'm so proud of how far they've come personally. I'm so proud of the person they are in the world. We have really rebuilt like such a beautiful friendship. And I think you can see that. I hope you can see that in this episode. Maybe trigger warning, we slightly talk about toxic relationships, like we've both been in a little bit. Episodes like this are really important to me and for like the whole idea of Amanda Started a Podcast, because I want these types of episodes to hopefully find the right ears. The people that have been going through a rough time, have been in toxic relationships, have not known how to get out of it, or have just felt alone in that. I really want people to be able to like hear these types of stories and like feel inspired and feel empowered that they can get through anything that they might be going through. When I was going through the really, really toxic relationships that I've been in, I felt so alone. And to know that people have not only been through very similar, if not like identical experiences, it's also nice to know that those people are better on the other side. They have like picked themselves up and like you're not alone, but also you will be okay. You will get through this because you always have gotten through everything you've been through. The proof is in the pudding, sugar. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you enjoy this little sprinkle of hopefully an empowering little moment you might have. I don't know. Maybe that's my intention I'm setting through my recording devices into your ears. Yay! We're here! I have so much to talk to you about.
Yeah.
You know already the reason why I have the podcast, but as a reminder, I want to have people on the podcast that have inspired me in my life. And I really hope this to inspire others to kind of like manifest change for good in anyone's life, or like inspire positive thinking, or like make people feel seen. Jules was my first like friend in Berlin that I met when I first moved here. We clicked right away, and I think we were both Pisces fishy babies.
Yeah.
We both
Very
like,
much so, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we have similar things that have happened to us in the past that have made us like who we are today, which I do want to dive all into like that stuff, and not a trauma dump way, but like in a cutie like
parallels way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking proud of us both individually.
Period.
I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for your friendship.
You're gonna make me cry so early on.
Like we're 30 seconds
We just
in.
started.
Yeah. We're wearing our sunglasses today.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that, just so everyone knows.
Honestly, my only reason was laziness.
Yeah.
Not wanting to put on an eye.
And you look great.
Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
can I say this much? The orange with the blue.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Amazing. Thank you.
The one thing I will say from the get-go, it's impossible not to notice how good you are with your style.
Oh, right back at you.
And but I'm wearing a lot of
That was
black.
eye for an eye though. When we first met though as well, it was like hell fucking yes.
Yeah, what was
hell
it?
Fucking yes.
Someone said, Jules and I met. We both moved to Berlin not like around the same time.
Yeah, like a couple months prior, I would say. Yeah.
And we met, and then we were like going out a lot together. I remember someone once said to you like, because I had black hair.
Yeah, exactly. And we both had mullets at the time as well. Where's the other mullet? The black mullet.
Yeah. Where's your friend with
yeah,
that?
because it was like the first time I was at Berghain without you.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah.
Right before we started recording, I was just saying to Jules that I'm going through a moment of like, I can't possibly party. I couldn't possibly go out.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm broken in some way, but I think that maybe that's just how life goes.
Yeah.
Like there's waves of like when you want to go out more, when you want to do.
Yeah.
But like when we first moved here, I felt like partying was like so important for like my inspiration, my creativity, like making friends.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just like nice to know that like we were always going to hang out on the weekend and do something and like do a thing and like
also
make friends.
like venture into so many new spaces together as well, and like and meet so many cool people together. Like I mean, networking happens a lot through partying in this city.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of people can sort of maybe label the like party culture as like, oh, well, that's just party culture, and it has its dark sides and its bad sides too, of course. But like the sort of first phase that I think everyone goes through when they move here is like, oh, like this is a really big way of connecting with people. It's a way of meeting people that already know each other, like finding mutuals, that kind of thing. And like, and I feel like it also ends up creating like a lot of really cool creative projects as well. And like,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, so many people just find each other through the party scene, and then like, it just makes sense to end up working together or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, then I would like to take it back from the beginning then, because that leads me to maybe my first question to you, because I moved here because I like came to visit by accident and basically was so obsessed with how creative everyone was.
Yeah, yeah.
Even that first weekend I came here, I didn't like, I went to like Sisyphus or whatever. At one night, I was just at a house party randomly.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't like a party. It was just like chill.
Yeah.
But like everyone was so creative. The way they spoke was so different than New York. And I felt so inspired.
Yeah.
And then you originally moved here. You were TBD going to move back to Copenhagen.
Yeah. When
you were originally going to move. But what made you stay?
I mean, I feel like as soon as I stepped foot in Berlin, I kind of already knew, like I kind of already had a gut feeling before even going, but as soon as I like had got settled, I was like, okay, like I actually really need to explore this further, and this does feel like a I'm staying kind of thing. And that's also what ended up happening. By choosing Berlin, it was choosing me. And that's maybe a bit of a corny way of putting it, but like,
no, it's not.
That's really like what it felt like. And that was because I felt like I had finally found like also such a strong community and like people here who were so creative and so outside of the boxes I was used to being in, and like inspired me to step out of my own boxes. And like, yeah, it's just like you can get so much inspiration from just the people here, whether it's surface level or deeper level, like in getting to know them. There's so many different walks of life, you know?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
In that same vein of like moving to Berlin because you were like, this is my time. Obviously, you were in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Which which was a good one. You had a good relationship.
It was the best relationship I've ever had in my life. Yeah.
But like there was a vibe, and obviously you felt like Berlin was your own.
Yeah.
And like you had to build a world with your ex, which was like so that.
It was so like melted into each other, and like we shared the exact same group of friends, you know, and like, and I loved those friends as well, but like everything was kind of just very almost cookie cutter like, and it was extremely safe and a very positive environment to be in, but it just wasn't the environment that matched my freak, to be quite honest. And like I needed to explore the freak some more because I could feel myself putting a lid on myself to feel more comfortable in those spaces, and I didn't want to do that anymore. Yeah. And like Berlin was the sort of catapult to that, because it's stepping into a space where you see so many people doing that on a daily basis, whether you see it through just the people that you see on the U-Bahn, you know, in public spaces, how they express themselves, how they dress, how they choose to be. Like you see a lot of sort of punk as fuck people, you know, who are avant-garde and who dare to be themselves in a different way. And I feel like that in itself was like, okay, this is the right place.
I know that we had like similar vibes of even like you worked at Urban Outfitters like in the stores, and I worked at Urban Outfitters corporate around 2016. But I wonder, obviously you grew up like as a small child in the States and then mostly in Denmark. But like how did you feel you reflect, like your personal style was reflected, and did you feel a part of like where you were in the US or in Denmark?
It's funny because like I've really often thought about like if I had stayed in the States longer, how that would have affected my personal style, especially with like the areas that I was living. Because like if I had stayed in New Jersey, in like suburban New Jersey, then I probably would have looked completely different, you know? And I've realized that my style has become such an amalgamation of a lot of my phases, but the stuff I'm returning back to now is like I'm dressing for my teen self.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel the same way.
Like I feel like I'm like fulfilling my teen self's dreams, and like that's what I want my 30s to be, and I just want it to get quirkier and funner and like and moodier, and I love to like to do that and really dress by my mood and dress by dress for the fucking occasion, dress for the function.
No, I know. I mean,
like
we'd already discussed you have boots that you need to wear on your
Exactly,
birthday.
exactly.
And like that's going to be happening.
if I'm going to the summer house, I'm wearing overalls.
Yes.
Like, of course, like
No, exactly.
I'm bringing the rubber boots.
I love that you said that because I think I unknowingly have also been dressing for like, when I think about like my inner child that needed to be like hugged or healed or something, it was like this one, like when I was 12, I like knew so deeply who I was.
Yeah.
But then like, you know, I started dating this guy that was like pretty shitty, but like you don't know that it's a shitty boyfriend. It's your first experience. And then like he's like telling you like, why don't you wear Abercrombie like everyone else? And I'm like, I don't know. And then like I didn't really, but like I never fully from then to like me being in my like mid 20s, even to like moving to Berlin, I feel like there was always that maybe lid I was putting on myself.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't fully, but now it's like the more change the better on my boots. And I don't care if anyone's like, I can hear you drinkling.
Exactly. I want it to be heard from a mile away.
Exactly.
Like,
I've also picked up pieces from different eras. Like when I was working at Free People,
Yeah.
I was doing more of a Free People vibe,
Yeah.
which wasn't really my vibe.
Yeah.
But like I'm glad I dabbled in everything.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
feel more, and maybe it's growing up. I feel like since I've been here, obviously I'm turning 32.
Yeah.
But I just really feel like the past almost 2 years, I have been so myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm really.
I love that. I love that so much because genuinely, I feel like I'm hearing that more and more, and I don't think I'm hearing it in like a I pity you kind of way. I feel like there's kind of this outdated thought that the 30s is somehow like aging and like suddenly you're a grandma or whatever. Like, sure, it's like, okay, it's the first time in my life I'm like feeling physical changes and maybe feeling longer term physical damages from the choices I've made.
Yeah.
Perhaps,
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
You also work a lot.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you're standing all the time.
Exactly.
Like, me making excuses. I'm like, you're fine.
I honestly, I choose backbreaking work anyways.
Yes,
you know, like we thrive in high stress environments.
Yes, exactly.
And diamonds are made under pressure. Even with that being said, I genuinely believe that the 30s is going to be so good because I can already feel just stepping into it that I'm like, okay, like just from the beginning of this year, I have a different motivation and like unspoken motivation to just like stand by myself and like by my boundaries so much stronger than ever before. And I feel like I've been already doing that in like smaller and bigger instances. And it's been so rewarding.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, I just feel like it's coming with 30. And and of course, maybe it's also just coming with the fact that I need to be doing that anyways.
I mean, maybe.
But I feel like a surge. I feel something coming over.
I think when people think about change and growth, they think it just like happened, like or like it's like big and it's huge, but it's not. It's the little things. It's like the text message you sent last week, the week before, whatever. That I was like, yeah, bitch, you fucking should say. You already obviously sent it, but it's like, would that version of you 2 years ago have sent a message like that to put up a boundary?
Yeah,
like maybe not, but also like you're doing it in your own way.
Yeah,
and it is like through little texts.
It's not without its own little dances and hesitation and rewriting.
Yeah, exactly,
and all those bits, but it's still doing it.
Yeah,
and that feels like showing up for yourself.
No, it is. And then the more you do that, it's like building your own character in like a better way. What you kind of were joking about, but like diamonds are made under pressure. But it is this idea of resilience.
Yeah.
Resilience is like when you kind of show up for yourself and you build more of your character and you go through shittier things, but like you come out the other side. Yeah. And it kind of makes you like a better version of you. And it's so
absolutely. And it feels empowering. And I mean, it also apparently comes with rewards.
Well, yeah. In general, we're on the up and up.
We're on the up and up. Like that's also still with its resistance and like it's also not like a fairy utopia land.
Well, that's what I was gonna say
it
too.
It has the backbone of it as well. And like that's why, for example, finding friendships like ours like genuinely is a lifesaver. Like genuinely changes how that path forms itself, you know, completely. Because when you have the right people behind you, you don't get lost in the sauce. And I think that is unfortunately something that can happen a lot with the city because it's a high pulse, like debaucherous place to be in. It's lots of fun and it's a chaotic place and it's a chaos and pressure to thrive under. But it can also it can also be quite difficult.
The thing about party culture, especially in Berlin, people are able to be like their very authentic like best version of themselves if they think this party version is the best version of them. But in that way, because there is so much of this party all the time here, people can also like, especially because you have these party friends that you think are like these fun, like lighthearted people, but then people end up really being shitty or manipulative or like really like being energy drain sucking, which we both completely have encountered.
The energy vampires are real.
Yeah, they are fucking real. We moved here, we had the same vision or feeling that we were like, yes, we are here, we're supposed to be here. But also, we didn't know so many people, both of us. In being like maybe bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the way that we were. We accidentally maybe became friends with people, hooked up with people that like weren't it. But like I do
That's
think
a really soft way of putting that. Yes.
Well, I think this is the thing, and I don't know how to like I don't want to be like so like this is how I feel, but like
tell me how you feel.
No, because we were so close. We were hanging out all the time. I have had really toxic past relationships. So when I saw behaviors popping up in your new relationship that were like really warning signs to me, I like really was freaking out because I was like, oh my God, no. And I tried to flag it in the best way possible to you, like genuinely, but like you're always deeper in than you even realize.
Completely.
And I think like for me, I would love to hear from your perspective. Seeing you go through that was terrifying and horrible because it's like I know how hard it is. And also like when you see someone going through like a really shitty time or in a really under a really shitty spell of some manipulating asshole, like you don't know how long it's gonna last. So it's like you can't lead a horse to water, but like you can't make them drink. And I think like we didn't talk for like I don't know, a year. And we had that break. We had that break, and I like obviously I was just like so happy to see you so good. And I'm so proud of the work that you did on your own to get away from that.
Thank you.
But I think like one of the things that I wanted to talk about on this episode is like that idea of like having really toxic partners and how it can fuck you up, because I think I had such a toxic partner. I felt so lonely in it. And then you're like pushed away and then you don't even know what you're supposed to do. So I'm like, if we can use our past terrible experience in some way, this can find someone's ears that's going through a similar situation.
Absolutely. And like pick up maybe on some warning signs like beforehand, you know, and I think it's exactly that. Like when you're in that situation, you're so blind to it because you're trying to just like keep yourself going for the sake of your safety, and you're so confused in like the delirium of all of that and like the intensity of all that. I thought I was zooming out from myself and being rational, and I was so far from rational, and it's still only with distance from that situation and like a complete clear sight of it now that I understand like the severity of it and like how deeply manipulated and like blind I literally was to not only you trying to lead this horse to water, but like so many people in my life trying to do that and do so in various ways.
No, totally.
You know,
because I know my approach is different than Ida's, for instance.
Like
I know that.
And that's the thing. Like I'm honestly just fucking lucky that I still have you in my life and that we found our way back to each other again, totally. You know, but it also did take a while for me to completely zoom out from that situation to realize that, and also to understand your perspective as well. And like,
no, totally.
That was the way that was like the full circle moment for me. Cause then later on, I went through the same thing with a friend of mine, and I was like, holy fuck, like I thought of you immediately because it was so difficult to watch.
It's like
when
crazy.
I had just been through that.
Exactly. Because you're like, you want so badly to help someone.
Exactly.
But you can't.
Yeah.
And then you feel like because then you're dipping out.
Exactly.
But you're like, I don't know what to do.
It becomes painful for you to watch. And also you end up like reliving those nightmares. And I think that was the main kicker for me where it really clicked. It was like suddenly I was having nightmares again about situations that I was like, felt like I had already worked through and that weren't haunting me in the same way. They sort of got triggered by my friend's situation. That was really like, whoa, okay, like I actually need to set a boundary with this person and like take a step back because I care so much about them that it's so difficult to watch.
I mean, anytime that I've been in a situation where a friend has been in some sort of toxic relationship or had manipulative romantic partner in any way, I am like huge red flag, freak the fuck out. I'm very stern. I'm like, you have to get out of this. And it's that is just the way I wish someone spoke to me when I was going through it. That is the way that I wish someone cared.
Yeah.
Like I felt so, like I was even talking to one of my high school friends like 2 years ago, Christmas time. And I was like, yeah, like it's actually really fucked up. Like how fucked up I was being treated. And like I wish anybody knew, but we're all kids at this time. Like we're all
exactly.
the same fucking age. And then she was like, oh shit, like I didn't even really realize.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's so crazy because you saw like all this like horrible like abuse.
Exactly.
And like, but at the time you don't have words for it. But even as adults, you know, you don't have words for it because unfortunately, normally toxic relationships come from someone that's in a vulnerable position.
Yeah.
And like you and I moving to a new city, we were both vulnerable in like not knowing a lot of people.
Yeah.
You like were doing your whole like finding yourself in a way.
Yeah.
And then like unfortunately someone took advantage of like that vulnerability. That fucking happens.
Yeah.
And I feel stupid too, like in the ways that I feel like I was maybe manipulated through friendships and stuff when I first moved here.
And that's the other thing, like it doesn't just happen with romantic relationships.
Exactly.
It actually does come a lot with friendships. That's also kind of an interesting thing about this city and about like the trajectory of our friendship, for example, versus some of our aligned experiences with like meeting people who we've become like very quickly like tightly bound to, and then realizing there's sort of toxic codependency in that friendship, and then it turning south kind of chaotically. So that's also interesting because like before we're talking about how wonderful everyone is and like you come to the city where everyone's so open, but like it's hard to gauge who to be weary of and like
100%.
who's going to take advantage of you and manipulate you, and like especially when you kind of show up like all green-eyed wonder, right?
Exactly.
Like that part can be really, really difficult to gauge, and like that's why you need people who you can trust and who are like emotional pillars for you to like be real with you, set boundaries with you, respect you and your space and your time, and respect themselves first and foremost so they can respect you. And that's what ends up making a difference. But it can be a sticky net to like
totally. In addition to, it's like really building a sense of self-love and self-worth. It's so hard to do that. That's a lifelong goal. That's a lifelong journey. In the past year and a half, it's been a whole nother refresh of that. And even more so building upon it because
it always gets tested as well.
But I think like if I were to move anywhere now, which I would not, and I'm staying, I'm sticking around, but like with the way that I feel about myself and my self-worth and like how the therapy I've gone through and really like figured out like why obviously having toxic relationships, friendship, romantic, and like others in my childhood and growing up, like that has like resulted in the way that I was feeling about my self-worth. But once you are able to highlight why and then you're able to work on that, like I don't think I would ever get into such a bad situation as I've been in before, toxic relationship wise. I would love to hope, at least. But I feel like you've also done so much work on yourself.
Yeah. I moved around so much. Like even though I lived in Denmark for like, what was it? I think it was like 18 years before I moved to Berlin. Like I was still moving probably on average like almost once a year, just homes and neighborhoods.
That's crazy.
So I was like, no matter what, I was like, even in the same country, I was constantly moving spaces. And
you changed high schools even and stuff.
Exactly. Like
that's really hard.
It was always like just being used to the social sphere changing. And so then not maybe fully committing to those people that I was around because my child self already knew, well, I only have a certain amount of time with these people before I need to move on. It really does something to you. It's like I knew how to socialize more with adults than with other kids. Yeah,
because you were always socializing with adults, with like your mom and like the work that she does and like whatever, just being at dinner parties and shit.
I mean, it's only now in my late 20s that like I felt like I found, it's not that I didn't have people before. I have like lifelong friendships that have built me and like, but those are still people who saw me for me before I even knew me.
If you never feel like you're at home or good or you have this community and these pillars, sometimes it's really hard to build that self-worth.
Absolutely. And try new things, like push your own boundaries, push your own versions of expression, put yourself out there in one way or the other. Like it feeds into every single step that you usually take in self-development or in growth, you know.
I don't know if it's the era of our moms generationally of like the way that they were raised too, but like obviously like the way that they raised us is similar in certain ways, and that makes you feel a certain way about yourself. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure raising kids in 90s, like I'm not trying to shit on anyone's parenting. I'm not a parent. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But like, like it's just hard when you also have criticism from like your mom, even though they love you and tell you how great you are, but then there's also this criticism, and then you're like still trying to.
That's the thing. Like they're proud of you, but like they also still want a specific version of you.
Exactly. And so it's
yeah.
just like, it's hard to grow up at any age, in any place you're at, especially now. I can't even imagine with the added layer of the internet and like looking like an influencer and wanting to look perfect. I mean, I think I just feel like such a fucking idiot when I moved here and everyone's like, yeah, but you have to be careful of party friends. And I was like, me having had all these party friends that have now come and maybe a little bit gone. I'm like, damn, I was dead ass saying to people's faces, like, yeah, but these aren't my party friends. These are my real friends. And it's like, girl, you fell for it.
Yeah. That's like really like just a small town girl. Like,
I know.
We share the same, we just want to believe in the goodness of strangers and the goodness of people, and like, arrest me, you know, like I'm sorry that I believe in the goodness of others, and like even the most evil and fucking sinister of people, it takes me fucking a while to get there, but like I still believe in their good potential, and I mean that's what I want to, you know?
Like people that have been like at one point the forefront of my mind, my enemy. There is not a single person that I don't wish them well. Now, genuinely. There is not anyone that I feel like at some point has like fucked me over deeply. I'm like, wish you well. Hope you're happy. Because I know you won't be. Genuinely. I'm like, I know you won't be. Like, I know like I'm genuinely happy, and I'm going to have the best life, and I'm going to like, I have the best life.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I feel bad for you.
Exactly. I pity you. I feel so sad for you that you don't want to choose happiness and you don't want to choose the good things in life. And that's coming from a depressed ass fucking bitch. Sadness is only good because there's everything else, you know, like you can't have one without the other. And I just feel so sad for those people. And
I do. I genuinely am like,
choose
I wish
to
you
keep
well.
themselves in torture.
I wish that you would get it out. I wish you would have a full life 360 and really get yourself together.
Absolutely. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really curious to see that.
I guess you have to go through these experiences sometimes to really learn and grow.
God, I wish you didn't have to, though.
I do. I believe that everything happened to me for me.
Yeah.
And I think that like I wouldn't change anything that has happened to me, even the really shitty, horrible things.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's made me a more empathetic person, a more loving person.
Yeah.
I still think I'm a bitch, by the way. A lot of the time.
Honestly, though, I just think that's punk as fuck. Like, choosing to still love, choosing to still believe in good when you've been met with such resistance is pure resilience in itself. And it's more than just survival. It's choosing to find beauty in literally anything. Yeah. And I feel like I'm just talking in like cliche, but no, like but quite literally. Why are they
cliches though? Because they're fucking real.
Exactly. Like, they hit. There's some truth though. Like, quite literally, that is, I don't know what makes those things worth it. And it's coming out through the other side. Yeah. And realizing that you can still love despite that, or in spite of that.
To speak about you directly, like you had this amazing relationship with your ex. Like you guys did, like it just wasn't it for you. But it was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like the reality is that we wanted different things, and we probably weren't being honest enough with ourselves about wanting different things, and that was the hardest thing I ever had to do, but I had to do it.
Yeah. In exploring, there was like more of a horribly toxic relationship that then came after that. Yeah. But now we've had the privilege of reconnecting, of like growing our friendship even deeper. Yeah. But then also like now seeing you again, putting yourself out there in spite of everything you've been through, like really finding love in different places and different people. I'm like, it's so inspiring.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And it's sick. And I love
it. Feels so good. Like it feels really exciting to finally explore connections in the way I wanted to for myself, and in the way that I had originally sort of set for myself in coming here, because I mean, that's the other thing. People are more open and more open to different like relationship structures and just kind of plethora of constellations that I've never even scratched the surfaces of.
Yeah, or like thought about before. And
Yeah.
now you're like, well, actually, that sounds interesting. Let me explore that.
Yeah, and it's really cool to like learn from such new characters and new people and like different walks of life. And I don't know, just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. It feels really good. It's like, it feels really rewarding.
Right.
Yeah.
And in that same way that we were talking about, like change doesn't happen overnight, but change is like little bits. It's like putting up your boundaries. It's sending weird specific texts. It's like drawing the line in the sand.
Yeah.
So it's like while you're out there exploring and loving more, you're also loving yourself more and putting up more boundaries.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is just, it's so sick to see.
Thank you so much.
With 30 upon us, like what are you most looking forward to? I know that I know we were just making fun of people that like are like, oh, you're 30-year-old. Like that's a weird, like I don't feel that way.
Yeah, not at all.
I feel like I've been like the most like joyful and playful of my life.
Yeah.
Since I turned 30.
Right? Like I feel like, yeah, there's a rebirth that's almost infantile because it's like I feel so comfortable in myself. I want to allow myself to play and have fun. I'm so tired and bored of being sad and like tragedy after fucking tragedy happening and just like grief. Like I'm so tired of all of that.
Yeah.
It's time to play. It's time to gesture it up. Now I can do that with a different self-esteem, with a different confidence, and in a way that allows me even more freedom. Like who wouldn't want that?
100%.
And I feel like 30 is just going to bring that. I mean, like obviously I hope my 30s also just bring like a little more stability in certain ways. Maybe that's something I wouldn't have wished for when I was younger, but like I feel like I'm just now coming out of a blackout. Like I'm like waking up to my own self.
No, but dead ass, I'm not kidding.
I'm waking up to me.
No, I feel like that too. I feel like I just woke. The first time I came to Berlin, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
It made my whole life that I wanted to be okay somehow.
Yeah.
And then after moving here and going through all the shit that I went through and like rebuilding a whole life for yourself, which you did obviously too.
Yeah, but I feel like you've really built like an empire for yourself, you know? Like, look at us.
Look at my lights.
Yeah,
look at all these lights.
Look at this fucking studio. Like, honestly.
I think I just like, even just having the idea of wanting to like do this podcast and not being like huge. It's like, you know, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. Like, I don't know.
You literally told me about this podcast like the day that we met. Like, you brought this idea up the fucking day that we met. And you're doing it now.
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
true.
I'm so proud of you for all the way that you've come, because another thing is that you just do the shit that you say you want to do. And that's like one of the things I look up to the most, because you're an actions type gal.
Thank you.
And you get your shit done, and you don't just get it done, you do it well.
Thank you, baby. That's really sweet. But the one thing that you said that you touched on that I very much identify with, you didn't necessarily say this, but what you were just describing before is like, there's so much shit. Like, I'm ready just for like good stuff. In the way that like things happen to us. Like, I think both of us, and I think it's a negative quality of some Piscean people, but like it's easy to fall into victim mentality, which is very my vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
And like
me too.
I recognize it, but it's really hard to call yourself out on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's an evil loop to get out of.
100%.
For sure. I don't know. There's also a lot of comfort in being sad, or like that's kind of the more known for my usual state of being. I don't know. It's like I didn't even realize until going to therapy and having a therapist tell me that like, oh, well, you can choose that more because it's out of habit. It's what you know best. And that's actually easier and less stressful for you. Like not me going to my doctor for stress. And it was actually just because I was like doing really, really well. And my body like literally was translating like joy into stress, because it was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on?
Because you haven't been like bedridden and sleep deprived in like literally weeks. So what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
For me too, like my mom has shaken me out of victim mentality mindsets before, but like dead ass, it is so easy when you're used to something, keep thinking that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Like everyone hates to hear it, but you can choose to be happy.
That's true.
Yikes.
It's true. I know.
Not so many people have said this to me, but I assume that people assume that I'm a happy, positive person by nature, which I'm absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's like a muscle you have to build. And keep trying to be happy and keep trying to look at the bright side of things. Yeah. And I don't like how, especially living here now and being from the US, and people are like, oh, that's just so, like, of course you would say that, like, sure, whatever. maybe people think it's like superficial. I don't know, but
like kind of like American, like happy-go-lucky kind of trope. Yeah.
But guess what? Isn't it way more fun to be happy?
T.
I'm sorry.
Like, immediately think about how, like, when we've stepped into spaces, like, people are also really drawn to you because you exude happiness in a way that's like contagious. And so that's the thing. Like, people aren't used to seeing, at least like in this city in particular, but like probably also just like in general, like cold Europe, it's like being animated and expressive and doing so with joy and visible joy is like actually genuinely something that you don't see a lot of here in every space. That also draws people to you because it's like kind of a foreign, it feels foreign.
3 of my friends have said to me, if I just met you and like you would just being you, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Like, not in like a what's wrong with her in like this way, but in a way that like she's being fake. Like, I don't fuck with this. But then they were like, it's like when you watch a TV show and someone watches the first episode and you're like, no, you have to watch until episode 3.
Right.
And then you're gonna love it. Basically, my friends were like, oh no, like I would just say to someone, if they also felt that way, I would just say to them like, no, you have to get to know her and then you would get it. And I think that's an interesting thing for someone to say about me because I'm not being fake. I'm being genuine as fuck. I brought this up in therapy after that people had said this to me. And my therapist was like, well, how does that make you feel? Does that make you want to like change the way you like approach things? And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Do you know how hard I've worked to like be a happy person? Like, I'm not going to change because it makes you more comfortable.
Also, like, why, like, that takes the whole point away from
totally
work into yourself.
And I'm also like,
of course.
God, if someone doesn't like me because I seem too happy, then okay. I don't know if I need to be around that person.
I think that's actually fine. Yeah.
Like, and I think maybe it's more of the superficial, like US American vibe that people might put onto me. But that's more of like, you're putting that on me. That's not how I am.
Exactly. That's a projection of their idea of you onto you, which doesn't have anything to do with who you actually are.
No, totally. This is kind of almost the same vibe as like in December, I was like kind of a little bit talking to this guy, and then I was really upset the way like he assumed that I would be. Like when I was just like, no, I like told you who I am. And just because I visually look like this, you think I'm like this fun, crazy party girl that's like gonna be so down to do all this stuff. And it's like no.
The manic pixie dream girl type.
Exactly.
Like, And that,
that's like putting your idea of me onto me too, which I'm like, no. In the same vein, my sister's husband said like, oh, like it must be hard for you to get quality connections, especially with dudes, like being a straight woman, because people probably think you're a manic pixie dream girl. But if they took 5 fucking seconds to talk to you, they would clearly understand who you are. Everyone's a well of different things, of course, but like, I'm not that. I'm very much like a business bitch that wants to get shit done.
Yeah, literally.
So I think like I also brought that up to my therapist too, and I was talking about it, and that was like in the same vein of her being like, well, how does that make you feel? Would you want to change? And I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah,
not for a second. Not.
That would be putting a lid on.
Yeah, I don't. And we already took those lids off.
Exactly. We're not trying to put those back on. There's a reason why they got torn off. That would be digressing.
I don't want to forget to ask you, but the thing that I've asked everyone on the podcast so far: what time in your life would you go back to, and what would you say to that version of yourself? Like, it's not necessarily advice. For me, I would go back to like when I was 12, when I was 21. When I had like shitty friends, when I didn't have like a support system. And I would say like, bitch, it gets so good. Don't fucking worry.
This is so like RuPaul of you. I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I don't even know.
I was expecting you to take out like a little baby picture of me, and then I have to talk to the baby picture of
myself.
Is that
what they do on Drag Race?
That's what they do, and it brings me to tears every time.
Oh my God. It's like, no one told me about that part of Drag Race. Maybe I should watch that show.
No, it's the best. It's like one of the best part, like most cheesiest part. I mean,
I love cheese.
Like that's the
like all of the fucking quotes.
Yeah.
My last episode of the podcast that I haven't edited yet is me reading my saved Instagram.
I love it.
It's like I did that.
I love that. There's different ages that I think about. Like I think about going back to myself at 9. I think about going back to myself at 15 and I think definitely 19, because these are like, there's like very traumatic things happening in all of these years, events that ended up being extremely formative and like shaping a lot of the patterns and sort of the shit storms that I had to work myself through and then like therapize myself through, you know? So going back to those times, I would genuinely tell myself that I need to trust my gut more and listen to what my body tells me, because I was suppressing that early on. And I feel like that would have been one of the best advices to give myself at the time, to like also comfort myself and know that it will get better, but it's going to get better because I'm going to do that for me.
Yeah.
You know,
like it's on you.
and allow myself to trust myself and that process more, and not assume or hope that someone else can come and pull me out of a black hole, because that's not how life works, unfortunately.
I know. I also think I believed I would be saved someday
Yeah.
by someone else loving me.
Yeah. Because this is the thing that I learned, for example, with my long-term relationship. I mean, you can be loved unconditionally and fully and in the safest and most encompassed way, but that's not going to necessarily heal you fully. The healing needs to come from yourself. That's a great aid, and it's going to be a great tool, and it's going to show you what you deserve before you realize what you deserve, but you still have to make the changes yourself, and that has to come from within you. And I think that sort of also connects back to the leading a horse to water thing. It's like you have to not ignore your own body literally telling you to stop or to rest or set that boundary with someone or take a step back from a situation. Like you have to listen to your body, because those responses are there for a reason.
One of my friends, Veronica, who's been on the podcast before, she was saying to me the other day, she was like, I don't know what to do about this thing. She got offered this opportunity for like work, blah, 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 that she was like, I guess I have to do it, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you do. You do know what to do.
Yeah.
What is your gut saying? And it's so hard to like build that muscle up. She was literally like, at the end of the day, she was like, you're 100% right. I do know. And I have to decline this opportunity right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like, you fucking know. Like you always know. Me having such a toxic relationship at a young age, and then attaching like the feeling of anxiety to not hearing from someone. This feeling, which I saw you into in your toxic relationship. That's not how you're supposed to feel in a relationship.
Exactly.
You should not feel that like
whiplash.
Or just like like, oh my God, I haven't heard from them. Is everything okay? Like, oh my God, and like putting everything else before yourself.
Exactly.
That's not it.
Yeah.
You fucking know.
Yeah, you can't be there for someone from a genuine perspective or point of view when you're not there for yourself first. And I think that's the other thing. I probably even thought that I was doing better by trying to be there for someone else before myself, because I still wasn't giving myself enough worth. So they became a higher worth than myself. And then I'm withering away trying to, you know, be the stilts for someone else.
100%.
The damage of that is never worth it. Like,
no.
Never.
And it's also the person you're doing it for never fucking cares as much as you do. Like, even if it's your fucking sister, your mom, like, you're throwing your body in front of the bus to save them, they're not even going to be like, thanks. Most of the time. Not that you're doing it for the thanks. You're doing it because you're trying to prove that self-worth. But it's like, it starts with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish that people were taught like meditation in preschool. And like self-love. Like absolutely. From the get-go.
Yeah. I do wonder as well, like, when I see kids, like certain kids and interactions, maybe it's like through reels or something, but I can get so emotional when I see like sort of new versions of parenting and how people are implementing confidence and like high self-esteem affirmations into their children's get ready routines, and seeing what that does to these formable, moldable children. Like it gives me so much hope. And I'm a pretty pessimistic person on these types of things, and kind of just like, yeah, whatever, and I don't give a fuck, and like the world is burning anyways. But like, it's enough to bring me to tears to see like kids getting that chance.
If I had known about affirmations, which I will single-handedly say that like kicked off my self-love journey, and like I think I've told you this many times, I've said it on the podcast before, but it's like I hated myself, and I was like, we can't live like this anymore. And then like starting being like, I love you in the mirror, crying, knowing it was a lie. It's like if someone had taught me how to say that and be affirmation like focused or forward at like 3, And I didn't start at 25 or 26.
Yeah, like just being able to hear that says so much as well. I mean, we can kind of see that in people's reactions. Maybe it's even like how someone feels shy about a compliment or something,
Yeah.
like not being so not used to hearing positive things, whether it's just small things like
Yeah.
a compliment on like your nails or like maybe it doesn't have to be something visual or whatever, but like
Yeah.
little bits to feel noticed and seen. Like we're such awkward like beings
Yeah.
when we socially interact with each other to the point that like people literally get weirded out if you're nice to a
This
stranger.
is what I'm saying.
Like
People are thinking I'm a freak because I'm rocking up to the party
Like,
and giving everyone a compliment.
literally,
I
and
think not. I'm also
you
not
make
saying
people
anything
feel
ever.
seen, and it's not
Yeah.
like you're just saying it for the sake of saying it. And that's the
100%.
thing. Like it comes from a genuine place, but it really does change the body language, the mannerisms, everything, and particularly in a place like Berlin, where I mean, Germans can be quite cold, like in their sort of social demeanor, and particularly to maybe English speakers, and like you can kind of see like, oh, like they almost change completely body language and meet you with more kindness because
Yeah.
you catch them off guard. And
This is maybe one of my main philosophies in life. If it's even a philosophy, a pillar, perhaps.
a pillar.
If you see something, say something in a positive way.
Literally, yeah.
If I like something, I'm going to fucking tell you because guess what? There's like scientific data
Yeah.
that it's impossible to compliment someone too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like obviously we all know ass suckers and like people that are literally like kissing your booty hole.
Yeah, yeah.
We know that
can
vibe.
sniff it out. You
And
can
when
sniff
it
it
when
out.
it feels inauthentic, that's
Yeah.
completely different. I'm now addicted to listening to master classes.
Oh, fun.
It was one of the master classes about how to better yourself. This woman was saying that there's literally data that proves
Yeah.
there is no way to compliment someone too much.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she even spoke to this, but I
Yeah.
assume it's authentic
Yeah.
compliments. But it's like, I'm gonna tell you if I like your motherfucking
Absolutely.
shirt. People post shit on Instagram all the time of like creative projects that they've worked
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
And I'm
absolutely.
like,
like those clay sculptures you made over
Yeah.
the weekend looked sick as hell.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome. Great handwork.
and even if I don't know someone that well, I'm gonna say it. I don't think you need to be close with someone to like compliment them either.
But it's especially funny that you mentioned as well the social media layer of it because like that connects us but also makes us more strangers. So in acknowledging that, particularly when it's someone you don't know that well, you're literally acknowledging the fact that like in a meta perspective, we have a relationship on the internet as well. And I did notice what you got up to over the weekend. Therefore, I'm trying to connect with you now face to face over
Yeah.
it. It adds another layer and like feeds back into that new relationship. Actually, during my time in Urban Outfitters, that was when I made it was like a conscious decision. And I think it was like maybe the early stages of myself turning into like more of like a girl's gal kind of without explicitly knowing that was what was happening. But I was kind of like, holy fuck, like so many cool people come into this store. I'm getting more and more compliments on my outfit, like when I work, because also people are like, can I buy that? Is that something that you bought here? And I'm realizing how much I feed off of that. And then like I started to do it with more and more people and in public spaces. And it also just made navigating the world more fun.
Yeah.
Because you're met with more kindness, you're creating more kindness. Kindness is contagious. It adds like a little like sparkle in your wake.
Yeah.
And people can see that and people feel seen and
Yeah.
feel a little more acknowledged. And I think that does genuinely make change. Like I love giving a compliment unexpected to a stranger and seeing how they will carry that with them.
100%.
Like you can see that. I think that actually that happens so much in Berlin. And that's also like just I wanted to tie this just back to like we've talked about how people are so open here and awesome, but can also be energy vampires and it's like hard to navigate and all these things. But this part of the social sphere is like one of the funnest and most exciting things to move into, like when you first get here, because like, oh my God, like everyone's like, I wanted to say horny for each other. I don't mean that in a literal, well, I mean,
most people.
actually, to be honest, actually, that's true too. But it kind of just sets a ground of like, oh, like we're kind of already friendly and we can celebrate each other.
Yeah.
Whether it's complimenting on sunglasses or like noticing what they did on the weekend.
There is so much bad shit in the world.
Yeah.
And I think in the way that like we have both maybe innately maybe had to grow out of becoming super victim mentality girls.
Yeah. It's hard to unlearn.
It's hard to unlearn, but they're also like, you're being pummeled on social media and online and in the world. Like there is bad shit happening all the fucking time. If you can do one fucking thing to make someone else feel better, that will then, not in a selfish way, but it will make you feel better too, because you made someone else feel fucking better. In the same way that I wish everyone the best, like even people that have fucking fucked me over, I do wish them the best.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, I wish that they would be happy.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I feel like most of them won't be.
Yeah.
And I think that they won't be happy because they won't choose that.
Yeah,
they won't choose to bring kindness to others either, ever. Like I see people genuinely making the choice to be miserable and then people wanting to suck other people into their misery.
Yeah.
If the world is kind of a dark place, there's also light. There's also like, if you're in a victim mentality mindset and or maybe you're coming from that place and trying to get out, there is light to grab onto.
Yeah.
You can choose to continue to build those muscles to get out of that.
Absolutely.
And to focus on more positive things and to bring positivity in other people's lives.
Absolutely. That's what you get, fog brain. You can't see that part when you're in that victim mentality and it's an evil loop to get out of. That's because it's actually harder to choose happiness because of the state of the world that we live in. That actually feels radical.
No, it is radical. And I was going to say that choosing the happiness is how you continuously become more resilient.
Yeah.
Because it's harder to do.
Yeah.
Because you're choosing to be better, a better version of yourself, to bring better things to other people, like it will make you more resilient in the long run. In the way that you were saying, like, the sparkle wake as you walk through the world, like why not leave good vibes on people,
right?
Like the other day I bought flowers for my new friend who also did my tattoo.
I saw that. It was so cute. I was like, oh, that's Amanda's hand.
She's such a cutie. It was her birthday.
Cute.
And then I was like, oh, I'll bring her flowers because it was her birthday, but why not? I would love if someone brought me flowers. Hell fucking yeah. But the reason I'm saying this is because I bought the flowers and then I was leaving and the guy's like, hey. And I was like, oh my God, did I leave my wallet or something?
Yeah.
And he was like, this one's for you. And he just gave me a daisy. Oh, that one. That purple one.
Wait, cute.
Is that a daisy?
I think so, like a marguerite.
I recorded with Jules a few weeks ago, but I haven't really like got to editing, got to like getting my shit together. And I feel like that is totally against my other few episodes of the year so far where I was like, no matter what, I'm going to record every 2 weeks and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? I've been feeling super down and not great. A depressive episode, some might say. Some of those people, maybe my therapist. But I am trying to refrain from being so hard on myself because it's the spring equinox just happened last weekend. So it's just spring now. We are entering a new energetic new year. Mercury's just out of retrograde. We're resetting. I'm really feeling better energy and vibes and trying to keep it up. When you're feeling like you might be in like a depressive episode or something along those lines, I feel like every day I have to like rip myself out of bed and like make myself go for a walk, make myself go outside, make myself do something. But like, I refuse to let this get me down. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now on a me front, which that's the vibe that kind of lends well to like Jules being on the podcast, Jules in Berlin, the episode. Jules and I, we touch on this even in the episode itself. We are hardcore Piscean queens. So I think it's easy when you're like a low vibrational moment, being a Pisces girl, to be like a victim mentality, to be a bit depressed or like loving your bed a little too much and just not being able to like pull yourself out of that. But like, unfortunately, like challenges in life do shape you and you do have to pull yourself out of a lot of shit. A little reminder, as I said, I haven't been doing my every 2 weeks doing a recording no matter what. Like maybe this is a moment to remind each other that you shouldn't be so hard on yourself, even if you said you were going to do something and it hasn't panned out exactly the way that you wanted it to. There's always going to be something that you could do more of. There's always going to be something that you could beat yourself up about. And you might as well just not. You might as well just be nice to yourself. The past few months, it's been really hard to like get out of bed. And I feel like I have to like tear myself out of bed to like go for a walk or go to do something. But I have been doing it anyway. I mean, at least on this side of the year. December was bed girl city. The thing that I decided with myself this morning when I was journaling, I was like, this isn't working anymore. Whatever it is that I'm doing is not working. So I need to switch it up. So I was thinking about like how when you feel the best, right? And I think when I feel the best is sometimes when you have like something to look forward to, something you're really excited by. Like if you're like dating someone new or you're trying something new and you're like going to a new class or you're going to like hang out with your friends, like you're like so excited to do that thing. So you like dress up cute and you like treat yourself better. You're like healthier in like the food choices you make because you're like excited about the stuff. I don't know. I just feel like when you're in a good mood and you're like in love with something or falling in love with something, you treat yourself better. So this morning I was like, you know what? I'm going to manifest, fake it till I make it in a weird way of falling in love with myself. Like, bitch, I should get dressed up super cute and put on fun makeup and be excited to hang out with me all day. Even though it's just a regular mundane day or whatever it is, like I'm just like working and like going to wherever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's going to be superficial for a hot sec, but I believe that is how all good things happen. Like affirmations, like at first you don't believe it, but then you do with your whole fucking heart and body and soul. So that's what we're doing from here on out. I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to look so freaking cute. I'm going to act so excited just to spend the day with me because that's who I'm falling in love with right now. Next episode, we will check back in to see how that game plan is going. Thank you for listening. Thank you for laughing. Thank you for smiling along with us. I know I'm laughing when I'm editing these, so I'll leave you with this other thing that I've been thinking about so much lately. My friend's grandmother died like a year ago, I want to say. She posted on Instagram like a photo of her grandma. The post said, to have a great life, you need to have someone to love, something to hope for, and something to look forward to. And the more I think about that, the more I'm like, wait, damn, that's so fucking true. Because sometimes when you're just not feeling that zesty inspiration or joy for life or something, like it's because one of those things is missing. And so if those things are missing, I want everyone to realize that you can love yourself. You can look forward to something that's just with you and like something you're like creating. You can hope for something better for yourself. With me right now, girl, we are going to fall back in love with ourselves and we are going to hope for some positive change. And we're also going to look forward to when this episode is in our rearview mirror.